Hello, fellow traders everywhere. Adam Hewison here, president of INO.com and co-creator of MarketClub with your video market update for Monday, the 18th of March. Boy, how the Ides of March, and on that same theme, we could say, et tu, Cyprus. That's the big news today. Cyprus, out of the blue, this Mediterranean island, the largest inhabited island in the area, suddenly starts grabbing bank accounts. It really changes the whole equation, and it puts Europe front and center again with all the problems that first came up 4 years ago with Greece. So let's see what happens in the marketplace, and we've had some big moves already. Gold's had a big move. Well, let's go through them. Let's take a look. Well, starting with the Dow Jones. Dow Jones basically was pushed down, came right back up again. I'm just going to do 3 months. You can see right here. Here's the started on the downside, boom, popped right back up. If the market closes higher or closes where it closes now, I consider that to be a bullish sign. They tried to push it down. They couldn't push it down. And providing that the Fed continues to pump money into the system here, it doesn't matter what happens to Cyprus right now. But that's on the radar screen, and we shouldn't ignore it. Let's go on to the S&P 500. Same pattern here. This is called a hammer pattern. Normally occurs at the bottom of moves, but it can occur right at these moves as well. We still think the market may have another week or two on the upside. And certainly the 1550, if you remember what we talked about last week, 1550 to 1560, we said start taking some money off the table, which I'm sure you have, but we want to stay long this market. We still think it can go higher, possibly to 1600. Certainly 1580 is in the cards, 1600 may be a bit of a stretch, but we think the market can go higher. So nonetheless, the action has to be considered somewhat bullish. The fact that it's come back so much from being depressed down over 1% at one time. So moving on to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, you see a little bit of a different pattern there. It's come right back though, and it's alleviated a somewhat overbought condition, but generally speaking, it's came back to these previous highs, which is now support, and we just put a very simple, we can just draw a very simple line there just to show you that, to illustrate that purpose. So here's the previous highs. If you just draw this along here like that, you can see it just came back down. And I would not be surprised to see a little bit more action and then start going up again in the indices. Remember, the indices here in the States are bullish, unlike another country, which we'll be talking about in just a moment. So let's just go to our next chart. And that chart is going to be gold spot. Now, gold spot popped up today. A lot of people got excited. Remember, we talked about this last week, these very, very quiet days. You don't sell quiet markets. We talked about that last week. And here's that quiet period, just going nowhere, just really tight market. Can't stay down, really can't go up. And now you had this little pop up. So has the market turned? And I have to say, no, not really, because we still have our weekly right here, still negative from 1653. That's another $50 higher, and that's right up against these levels here. You can see there's the weekly right there. So again, still negative. Longer term, you should be out of the market right now as this market bases out. I think we'll be going sideways, perhaps for a little while. Maybe Cyprus will be sort of not quite so much front and center tomorrow, and we'll see this market come down. But certainly, we want to pay attention to the gold market because longer term, this could be the last refuge for everyone. So let's clear the screen and go to our next market. And the next market we're going to be looking at is crude oil, I believe. No, the euro, excuse me. And the euro, which was pressed down below 129 today. We traded down as low as 128.83. We popped right back up. It's higher now on the day. I think for the most part, this is going to just sort of mop around these levels. Interest rates are still good in Europe. And the market is still trying to maintain its longer-term bullishness right here at 127. But you can see some of the headwinds are coming here. The weeklies are 133. You should have been short this market from this point in time. And I think we'll see this market probably go lower, just erode down, just a slow erosion. It's going to be very, very hard. I think the problems in Europe are going to continue to exacerbate the euro. So let's go to our next market. This is crude oil. This is an incredibly bullish picture in my mind in the sense that we had a big down day, a lot of pressure, and it just snapped right back up. So technically, you have to say that the market still looks good longer term. We need to see this market turn around the weekly, and that really has to go over probably this level right here, which is 94.45. So probably another 100 points higher, $1 higher. Then I think we'll get this market going on the upside again, see some upward momentum. So moving along to three markets that are in the news. This is Royal Caribbean Cruises, RCL's the symbol. And that's a major sell today. And how I found these, I'll show you how I found them. I basically went to our trade triangle page. Let's go there right now. And you can see here's Royal Caribbean Cruises, 3D Systems, and iShares China 25 Index. This is interesting because we had a major sell in China today on this index. What does that mean? Well, it means people want to be in the US and maybe out of China. So that's a very, very big signal. So the other thing I was thinking with Europe, if everybody doesn't want to put the money in the banks, where are they going to put it? Well, they're either going to go to gold, which pays no interest whatsoever, or they're going to go to quality stocks. And I think that could be the bullish part of the U.S. So I think that could be the next driver to the upside in this market. So let's take a look at Royal Caribbean Cruises. We just looked at that. It was a negative. 3D Systems trading at 30 right now. It's our signal came in. I'll show you the signal where it came in on the monthlies. Right here, it came in at 28.23. It's 29.78, so there's a chance to get it at a better level, but it is a little oversold. I think I'd give it some room here to get maybe back up to the 32 level before getting short. So that's really what we're seeing in that market. And the next market we're looking at is, let's just find that next market. And the next market, I'll go back to my portfolio. I have it in the portfolio there. Then the next market we're looking at is the China FXI, which is the iShares for the Footsie China 25 Index. See the yellow around the red? That's a negative, and that happened at 36.72. It's happened on Monday, March 18th, that's just today. It's 36.89 last, so it's up a little bit higher than we had the signal, but you can see that this is not, it's a very thinly traded ETF, so be careful if you decide to trade this market, but I'll just put a close-only chart to give you a better idea and take these off and scope this out a little bit to the max. So you can see it seems at this level it was having trouble right around the 40 level. It did precede it, but it's coming back down. It's broken this trend line. If we scope this in closer in, just very, very tight trend line, which you can draw from here to here, and it's broken that, and that's not a good sign. So we may have to wait till this market to come down to maybe the 32 level before it begins to look attractive. It is oversold, so you may get a little pop tomorrow, but generally speaking, the markets around the world really reacted in a very violent manner, and I think that's all attributed to Cyprus. So again, I think the cool thing is, or the key thing is here, is to really say Cyprus is maybe the tip of the iceberg, so really pay attention now to what's going on. If we do see further movements in these markets, obviously you can track them with a global strategy portfolio, the perfect ETF portfolio, and the World Cup portfolio. These are all portfolios designed to work no matter what happens to the market, and they've worked beautifully. The World Cup portfolios far outperformed the markets. The perfect ETF portfolios worked extremely well, very conservative, very good for IRAs. And we give you the signals every day, so you can just click on here. Takes you right to the page. Here are the returns every year. Now it's down so far in 2012, but 2012 isn't over with yet. We haven't had one quarter finished yet in 2013 rather. And I think that's the key thing, is just to see how these markets do. And you can see overall in 2008 we're up 12% when the market was down 25%. So again, this is how you judge your portfolio over time. You're only looking, what Will Rogers said, is to get a return on my money, but I'd like the return of my money. And this is the key thing. And I think this is what this portfolio can do very, very well. And if you look at the other portfolios we have that are available to MarketClub members, the World Cup portfolio, here the returns is a little more risk, 501%, 48%, 35%, 186% last year, 57%. So we had a very good year. We've had very, very good years in this because we trade commodities and ETFs. So it's worked out really, really well. And so anyway, they're the portfolios we have. They're available to you every day. We give you the signals, so there's no excuses. You can see soybeans, crude oil, sidelines positions, spot gold, sidelines positions. So all these things are happening as we speak, and it really does make a lot of sense to trade them and we're long the dollar. You can see here, and again, we have the exit signal here. So 81.46 is basically a scratch trade if we get out. So we won't make any money, we won't lose any money, which is sometimes a good thing. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison for Market Club. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see what the news comes out of Cyprus. But it's just the beginning, folks. There's going to be some great opportunities this year to make money in the markets.